you wrote an article a few weeks ago. It was published on the 15th of July. It's called "Beginning Your Generational Diversity and Inclusion Journey. This
Okay.
is where it could take you." And I want to end with one concept that you speak about here. So what you start with the year 2025, right? And you kind of talk about this ideal organization that just received the nation's most prestigious diversity award for generational inclusion and action, right? Now, the piece that I want to talk about is this. I'm trying to find the word. This mentoring, this generational mentoring. What's the term,
It's
man?
called co-mentoring or mutual mentoring that
Yes.
happens between the generations.
Yes.
So it's a two-way mentoring program.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah. The idea is that you're a member of an older generation, and when we refer to older generations now, it could be an Xer
That's
or
right.
a boomer, even a traditionalist, and a millennial or a Gen Z. But so they're teamed up with each other, and the purpose is that the younger gen is there to help their older gen buddy stay current with the snap change of all things tech. I know I do have younger mentors, all kinds, and so this is happening. What do you mean? And not have to feel embarrassed or like a dummy. No, I you to lay this out for me. And beyond that, just talk about emerging trends. So what is happening now? Where are we going? A lot more about the environment. What do we need to be aware of, even here within our, within our company? What are you feeling? What are you seeing?
Yeah.
So they're there to keep me, up on all things that are 21st century. And my job as the boomer is to help my young gen buddy really navigate workplace writ large, especially this notion of career. What does it mean to sometimes work through the politics of the joint? How does a younger gen kind of talk boomer when needed? That this, way that we run the place isn't always as egalitarian as it needs to be. But here are some ways that we can maybe do some workarounds, or I know somebody that could be a good ally for you, or let's work on a way to progress through the company, and just kind of talk about those day-to-day, things that bug me, because one good thing about me as a boomer is I've probably been there.
Yeah.
I probably had to get through it. And I'll tell you, this is a little bit of an aside, but this is where some of this mutual memory or mentoring writ large can proved itself during the pandemic. Had it not been for millennials kind of starting this whole notion of remote work and figuring out, insisting on working from home and connecting, all the different ways we can communicate off-site. Can you imagine what making that flip into pandemic would have been like if we'd never practiced working away? And they were told a lot when they started to say, I need some time and space away from the office, but I can get the job done. And time after time, they were said, no, you can't, no, you can't. And they did it anyway.
Yeah.
And so then, the Gen Xers, from the time that they came to work, were saying, we want some work-life balance. Work is not my life.
Yeah.
I do not necessarily have to be the top of the food chain the way you boomers are. I'm not going to work 80 hours a week
Yeah.
because it's not my meaning. My
Yeah.
family is my meaning.
Yeah.
And so when we get into pandemic, they're able to say, this is how you do work-life balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
What can the boomers do? And I'm not as positive that we did it as well as we can, but we can offer stability. We can simply say to younger gens, this is not going to last forever. We've been through hard times before. I'm not going to say anything quite like this, but we've seen this. We've seen this a
Yeah.
few times. And I've got your back.
Yeah.
And come and talk to me. I can give you just some assurances that the sun will come up. And I'm here to help.
Yeah.
To the extent we can do that, I think we're playing our role. And so that's the kind of mentorship we do for
That
each other.
that's awesome. I was reading this article and you were painting this lovely picture, and I think that there's not enough of it, although there's probably some of it less formal that's going on. But there needs to be some more formal mutual mentoring in order to have those proper those knowledge transfers before folks retire. And also, I think it keeps your younger generations aware of history and makes them feel more invested in the organization that they're in, right? And it takes people such as yourself that really understand and really care. I'll